What is up, everyone? I'm going to be showing you my Volibear jungle build that I think is really broken and that you should be using to win your solo queue games with. Volibear, I think, is a really strong pick that not many people have been running. The setup I'm about to show you is just very, very good. For runes, we're going to be doing lethal tempo with inspiration. For pathing, you can start blue or red buff. Both of them are extremely fast full clears. This game, we're going to start the red buff, and I'm going to show you guys a really fast full clear. You're going to start E level 1. You're going to be maxing Q first. The build is a bit weird, but it's going to be Cosmic Drive first item. Here at 128, you want to use your E, auto attack, and then start kiting. So Volibear, his clear is just all about his E damage. It's really high. Your passive is sort of like a 5-stacking ability. So you're going to be able to kind of like leash next camps, as you can see here. What I like to do is just start on this one and then get it going right as I'm finishing, right? So you see how I kind of had like a little delay on my E there. If you can save your E for the next camp, some situations it can be really good. And just kind of remember that as well. Here we're going to just save our E as well as we're finishing. Just because our passive AoE is really, really strong with how much lightning strikes you can get out of it. So here you want to E and just kind of kite and make sure you move a bit around with your passive. Volibear jungle clear, your passive is just really important. Stacks up to 5 based off your autos and your spell hits. So you always want to kind of keep that one going. Here in this situation, same thing. I just want to kind of drag this little raptor out, Q a bit earlier, and then just kind of get my E going. And here you always want to be playing for your full clear when you play Volibear jungle. It's just extremely good. His clear is quite fast, so you don't have to worry all that much. Just make sure you path as well as possible, and just use your E's towards, you know, the second camp you're going at. Here you can do blue or red second. It's just really up to you. This game's a bit spicy. I'm going to be playing a York jungle. York jungle is extremely weird. Looks like he was trying that cheese, but it did not work out yet. Here you can see I'm kind of always playing around that, you know, 2 camps and just hiding a little bit. Just make sure you're not doing it way too early, or else you're going to kind of fall into a bad and dangerous position. Otherwise, you can just, you know, move and just play as slow as you want. Your full clear should be really fast before crab timer every time. This one was actually a bit slower. I made a few mistakes on it, but as long as you're here before crab, you should be quite happy with the situation of the game. Here, I just like to one-shot the crab fast before I look for plays. After crab, I always like to look for like a gank angle. It's just pretty much free as hell. It's super free to go for any gank. Xin Zhao Pantheon bot lane, you know they want to go in, right? So all I have to do is wait for them to jump in. Right when they go in, we just kind of strike, as you can see. So their damage is really high, but I do think we can kill here. So what I'm going to do is just go on the Jhin, get that lightning strike, get the auto attack, and then get the kill. Usually if you can get 1 kill like that, basing is just really good for you. I would be pretty happy with the base timer now. And with the free boots, we're not going to be going into boot spot. We're going to go into this weird Cosmic Drive item. So Cosmic Drive, Dark Seal as well, if you want to kind of spice it up a bit. There it is. And you can go into sweeper, or you can go keep your trinkets. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Just trinkets are pretty good if you have 2 ward charges like I have right now. York jungle, he's probably going to go back to his full clear normal routine, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And us, we just want to make sure we get to our position. We're going to be maxing Q first, W second. And here you can kind of see the York jungles approaching topside for a maneuver that we're not going to allow that for it to happen. Maybe Fiora has other plans, but I don't have other plans. I have one plan, and that plan is to kill, stun him, get the damage off. And with lethal tempo, you're just a god with your autos. You can see I just munched down a bit. And don't be afraid, you know, there's no way this guy's getting out, so I don't have anything to fear. Lethal tempo, I could try to take on this Gwen too for feeling really spicy. You just want to tag them with that. You just want to make sure you tag them with that one ability. Here, we're going to E in on top ourselves. And then it's just a free kill. You just run her down. Come on, Gwen. Slow it down there. And then she's dead. And yeah, there's honestly not much to it, Volibear, with this build. The AP, you're probably wondering, why are you building AP on this champion? He scales better with AP than he does with AD. His entire kit only scales with AP and also HP. That's why we're building these sort of components. These items they're going to be building into are going to be extremely important. for that exact reason. And his abilities, right? Q doesn't scale with much, just a bit of AD. That one doesn't matter. Your E is going to scale extremely well. You're going to be getting a lot of shield value from this AP hybrid build. And the second item is going to be weird, right? We're going to go Navori. It's like that Roa Navori build I showed you a while back. It's still the kind of same concept. Roa is just really bad now. So instead of going Rod of Ages, you're going to go into the Cosmic Drive. And Cosmic Drive is just a really good item on Volibear. It gives you HP, gives you a bit of everything you want on this champion. And from there on, you're going to go and just itemize for pure tankiness. Your objective control is probably one of the best. If you play Volibear jungle, literally all you have to do is just do what I'm showing you in this video. Occasionally gank after you're done farming. Play for the ganks, play for the farm, play for the objective. Your E does a lot of damage to objectives. Usually early on, it does around 200 damage. As you scale up more and more, it's going to do even more. I think a Vigar might have actually died. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. And you got to be allowed to let these people die. Like, I really have no shame in what I see on the map, right? My only focus is myself and how much gold I am getting, right? So my goal is to get this Cosmic Drive item. You know, because I did the Void Grubs, Volibear, Yorick most likely will just be on the bot side. Not much I want to do about that. You just have to trade every now and then. You don't want to be too greedy by trying to take, you know, like every objective. Instead, you want to play reasonable. You want to be like, okay, I'm top side. Let me play around top side. You know, and maybe Volibear's, Yorick's top side might be up as well, right? Stuff like that. Maybe this Gwen is going to go in with her trade pattern. And then I'll be there to capitalize. Yeah, maybe I'm just ready. I'm faster than anyone can have imagined. And, you know, just like that, we grab that. We grab a couple plates, because why not? Change in our pocket. And now we're going to go see what Yorick was up to. So, if you're going to invade this Grom, what you want to do is actually just always kind of get a ward. I'll show you exactly where I want you to ward. Right now, we don't have to worry because we see him, but usually the ward right here is really powerful. I call that the Quadrant Ward. It's a very powerful ward because it allows you to see the 4 entrance size. So, I really like that ward. You're going to drop that one there. And after stealing these 2 camps, I'm pretty much basing. I'm going to go home and just spend time with my family. But most importantly, we're going to have our Cosmic Drive item. You can see how well we're doing. With 3 boots, you're eventually going to get your boots upgrade. This is where you're going to go into the Navori. I could have probably picked up a dagger, but it's okay. I could have switched to sweeper as well. That's also on the menu. With this item, you're extremely strong. You're going to do a lot of damage. People don't understand how valuable this item on Volibear is. It's just a very, you know, like your E damage, your ulti damage is really high. But most importantly, your passive damage is where most of your damage comes from on Volibear. So you can see each auto is doing 76 extra magic damage. So that's where the power of the AP lies in this jungle Volibear. Your passive is pretty much all your damage, you can see. So building AP just amplifies your passive, which is probably going to give you the most damage possible in the game. And this is a big reason. Also, because of this chain lightning effect, it hits multiple targets, it speeds up your clear. So you can see why this first item AP will be the best item for you, no matter what. So just for you guys to understand why AP is good. Some people realize this and they think, okay, maybe I can build so much AP. It's not worth it to build more than like 1 AP item. It's just for the early game, for the clearing, for that. After this item, you have to get Nabori and then you have to get Tanky. So the standard tank items are going to be Deadman's and Spear Visage for like, you know, your MR. Stuff like that for boots, armor, CDR, MR. And yeah, that's just how you want to play. Here I'm playing, you know, my CS is really high. I'm playing around, you know, maybe the Fiora, who's obviously doing really well. I'm going to play around, you know, maybe killing this Yorick because, well, why not? It's never bad to kill someone. Here, he was able to kind of get away from us. Oh, he's outplayed me. But it's not a big deal. We had a good base timer. There wasn't really much left to farm. All of our farm has been cleared. Nope. And yeah, this is where you want to go into the Navori. I like to one by the Zeal. This part feels awkward when you're building it. So sometimes if you need like an armor boot this game, Enemy team's pretty 80 heavy, so I'll probably just go into my armor boots. But most likely you're going to be going into the Navori. If you really don't want Navori, you can just go straight into the tank build. I really like Deadman's. You know how much I like my Deadman's Blade. Probably one of the best items in the game. And then for MR, it's like Spear Visage. For another HP items, Thornmail is generally a very good performer on the build. Yoink. Oh, I couldn't kill it. Remember, he has no flash from earlier. Also, remember the maidens are worth a bit of change in the pocket. If you kill the maiden, I think it's like 50 gold. Never too bad to have that killed. And you always want to be comboing, doing the combo on Volibear. So I didn't really explain it, but pretty much your W, you can cast it in the Q animation, just like that. So your W gets animation cancelled by being used during the Q sort of stun animation. So that's like the general thing. You're going to see me use the combo extremely quickly. And I'll be using that a lot. And also you can press your E at any point. During your E, you can Q and it hides the pretty much the animation. As you can see, you didn't know I was casting E because I cast it with my Q. That kind of stuff is just stuff you're going to practice and get better at. But generally, I'll show you on this camp if it's up. Nope. How exactly you should be comboing with the Volibear. Dragon is up. I do want to look for it, but here, Q, right click, W, auto attack. Instantly gets 3 damage hits off. Do we want to give them Dragon? I feel like we could fight Dragon. I need Nico to go and be a bit of an explorer here. But when they have their entire tribe there, you don't really want to go in here. You're going to have to wait for more backup. I needed Vigar, but he a little bit of a distracted man. Beautiful damage by that one ability. And if in the meantime, there's not much going on, just go farm. I'm just going to go back and just start farming my bot side. I would really like to fight somewhere, but we're already kind of destroyed the Gwen. So the Gwen has handicapped her team quite badly. So we don't have to worry about that. We're going to get a lot of advantages from the top side. So if your team is doing really well with that, you can just play to kind of, you know, full farm. Grab whatever farm you can. Take lane farm as well here. And yeah, just wait for the enemy team to kind of like mess up here. I could easily look for a fight afterwards if I want to though. So that's something that's going to be on the menu. You can see how much damage your E is going to be doing. But I will say you're not going to really feel this build power until you get that beautiful Navori. So I do want you to focus on thinking about the Navori build. And the Zeal buy, I already have the Zeal buy. So I usually like to get to that Zeal buy and then I'm going to base. And here I do have it. I'm going to base. Also, you can see my mini map. Like I have 2 camps possibly ready for me to take on bot side. Top side, not really much going on. There is the invade angle, but I really don't want to invade right now. I want to play around this Fiora who's really strong, who's getting sort of 1v2'd in this lane. Not acceptable. Not on my watch. I'm going to let her know that her daddy Volibear is on her way. They are sending more reinforcements. Resistance Yorick is on the way as well. Could easily one-shot this with my E. Yoink. Now we see we have a flank on the Yorick, so we're going to do is collapse on him. He may flash, but we're going to just make sure we get our abilities going. Zed Shadow's out. He's out of there. But I do think the Jin Zhao and Pantheon. You know, there are potentially people we can kill, so I'm going to group up with my Nico. I think they're in that rush right there. I pretty much want them to go on me because I can just E then ulti on myself. Oh my, I didn't get actually all my damage off. But generally with your E and then your ultimate grants you that bonus health. Your W stacked once. The second W will heal your missing health. But they just had a lot of damage. They were really packing. They were really packing right there. Yeah, the Dark Seal I just like having as like an early buy. It's just really strong for your early game. but you're not really gonna feel like a god until you finish your Nobori. The Nobori is where you're gonna really see that magic start to happen. And it's all because of how it interacts with Volibear in general. It's gonna reduce all your cooldowns to 15%. It's gonna be really powerful. So you do really need to get to this point. So if I'm like, you know, I'm pretty much like 400 gold short, it's not bad to just AFK farm for it. Or swing by, grab one kill on this Yorick, who I should easily be able to kill there. But we'll see. Just gonna see what Vigar is up to. Might go for the Yorick pick here. Remember, we're super fast. Your Q, it gives you all that bonus movement speed. So all you have to do is make sure you're moving towards champions. If you get CC'd, it resets the cooldown. As you can see, my cooldown just came back up. And we're able to get the kill. Grab that cannon. And grab that. All right, now I'm going to show you guys how powerful the build is. It really takes us to forward by to really let that kick in. And also, I'm going into armor because enemy team is heavy AD. We're going to go into our dead man second. And I will end up going towards top side to path. So, dead man is really strong. Very, very powerful item. If you're playing against an AP heavy comp, you can just go Spear Visage instead. You can see my abilities are starting to get its cooldown reduced. This is where you become a god because you get shield spams, you get W spams, which heal you based off your missing health. And you end up never dying, really. I want them to fight me, right? This is pretty much where I want them to be. I want them to take this fight. Because I'm never going to die. You can see, get those abilities, spamming. Oh, I don't plan on going anywhere, Pantheon. Come on now, smite the daisy. Oh, I don't plan on going anywhere. I live here. I live here, guys. This is where the build gets going. Simple as that. That's how powerful this build is. Maybe Zed wants to tango. I didn't really see where he was, but I saw someone. I saw some movement from someone here. Let's see what Zed's up to. Oh! Should have been in Penta. But this is where the build kicks in. So remember, it's really important to make sure you're... As long as you're hitting something, you're going to get these ability rotations back up. Spam your E, spam your W. Make sure you're hitting people with the Q. And you're just going to get all that beautiful value, as you can see. Upgrading boots is good, especially in situations where you're playing against a team who's heavy AD. For example, if that team wasn't super heavy AD, I probably would just make sure I get my deadmans and then upgrade. But it's never really that bad to upgrade your boots. The armor boots into certain comps are just really good. So I'd be pretty happy to get the upgrade. From here on out, just make sure you farm really well. This rune here, remember, coup de grace. You can go last stand as well. Some games I go last stand. It's really powerful. It's up to you which one you want to take. Both of them are very good. Honestly, all three of them are really good. Cut down as well. It's just up to you what you prefer. And here we just play for farming, we play for objectives. Your entire game plan should just be like these sort of like farm angles and then objective angles. Because if you're on an objective, for example, you're constantly proccing your abilities, you're stacked up, you take no damage, right? So there isn't really much problems in your game. I'll tell you what the weakness is with this build. It's being crowd controlled to death, right? So if the enemy team had a lot of CC, like hard CC, not slows, but like straight up stun after stun, like knock up after knock up, you're going to probably get crowd controlled. You're not going to get autos off, which will help you reduce your cooldowns. And that's where you're going to find yourself dying a lot, right? So if I'm playing against a heavy CC comp, a heavy knock up comp, that's where you're going to struggle a lot. So you have to watch out when you go in. The enemy team has no CC, you're pretty much going to become a god. There's like no way anyone can out damage you in this build. They will start to outscale the build a bit, but then you're pretty much back in business after a certain amount of time. You can use solo every objective in the game very quickly. You can run out of mana, so do think about your mana costs and stuff. Sometimes save your... Don't waste your Q on objectives. It doesn't really do as much damage as, you know, just your Ws and your Es. With one more person here, should be able to do it without any issues. If you stay on objectives too long, though, it does reduce... Oh my god. We got it. We're going. I'm on all fours. I didn't hear no bell. Come on. Come on, Jin. You want to be a hero, Jin Zhao? Alright, I'll be back. I'll be back. I kind of forgot about the roses to pick up, but it's okay. Once you get your like dead mans, you're gonna feel yourself being really strong, really powerful. There is a herald. I forgot herald was up. But yes, you're never gonna build any AD items. It's all about HP tankiness. The Novori is really good for that as well. And the Spear Visage is gonna be really powerful. Sometimes you could potentially go Riftmaker to convert some of your HP to AP. But I find it not to be as good. I feel like it's better to just... Like AP, it's not... You're not going to scale as well with AP. You just want to get as tanky as possible. Like a Thornmail will be really good. And that's sort of like how you want to build. He's just really powerful with a little bit of ability power. From here, your engages are really powerful. You have a lot of ways to go in. The ultimate, you can dive people, but just kind of up to you how you want to dive and make sure you collapse on people. Here, just hit it head on. If they're not going to fight you, then you have to just make sure you fight them. Oh my god, we're down for the count. I hope you guys liked the video. This is Volibear Jungle. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck in the game, and I'll see you guys next time.